Though the Harrier is a design concept that's now more than 20 years old, she is uniquely equipped for the number of roles she'll have to play in any prolonged confrontation in the South Atlantic. Flying low to minimize the chance of detection by radar, her head-up display presents the pilot with vital flight information in his line of sight out of the cockpit. The need to look away to the controls is kept to a minimum. Though she's the only military aircraft in the West to be able to take off vertically, such a maneuver reduces dramatically the amount of fuel or the weapons the aircraft can carry. Using a takeoff ramp known as the ski jump, Invincible was the first ship to be fitted with one, and that was just 12 months ago, can increase her fuel load or the amount of weapons she carries by as much as 30%. This will allow the aircraft, if the mission demands, to travel 120 miles from her mothership, loiter for 1.5 hours, with reserves for just 3 minutes of combat activity. But all the while, in direct radio contact with her mothership, able to pick up a complete picture of what's happening throughout the area from base radar. The Harrier's own advanced radar serves two distinct functions: air-to-air search, allowing the pilot to identify a potential target, and then remove other irrelevant information from the screen. Then, working with the aircraft's onboard computer, the radar can feed the head-up display with target details, automatically tracking the target, leaving to the pilot the decision whether or not to fire his heat-seeking missile. The anti-aircraft Sidewinder heat seekers are mounted directly under the wingtips. But for its ground attack role, the Harrier is likely to carry 2 clusters of 68mm rockets, 19 in each cluster. So under the aircraft are 5 mix and match weapon mountings, 2 missiles perhaps under the wingtips, rockets or extra fuel tanks inboard, with gun pods directly under the fuselage. Whilst she may well find herself under attack from missiles like the Sea Dart, in her ground attack role, as this training film shows, her 2 rocket clusters give her potent firepower. As well as giving her the ability of vertical takeoff, the Harrier's variable direction engine ducts give her a high degree of maneuverability in the air. Altering the direction of her 21,500 pounds of thrust allows the pilot to decelerate very quickly and reposition to gain maximum advantage in a dogfight, even possibly to avoid missiles. One has to say possibly, because the action in the South Atlantic is the first time in its 2 decades that the Harrier has been used in anger anywhere. And remembering that the American Marines also have more than 100 of these versatile machines, it's hardly surprising, perhaps, that her performance and the performance of the men who fly her are some of the reasons why the Russians are paying so much attention to what is currently happening around the Falklands.